Hi guys and welcome back to another video. As you probably guessed from the title, I'm going to do a PhD haul of the products that I use very frequently. Obviously there's a lot of others online, but I do have a rather lot. So I'm going to start with protein powders. Then I've got some different protein bars, and then I've also got some like vitamins and supplements, so I'll talk you through all of those. The link to shop for PhD is below. If you use this, it really supports us, so thank you so much. And also at the checkout you can add code EMERGY10 to save 10% off. Being very honest about it, I obviously do get paid for that, so I do appreciate it. But it is also beneficial for you to save money. I work with PhD though because they are a brand that I genuinely believe in. I've used their products for absolutely years, and one thing that stands out in my mind is when I first started like my fitness journey, and the PT that I had at the time had advised us to get a protein powder, and I remember trying one from a brand I won't mention, and it was disgusting. I mean, to be honest, I went for chocolate flavour, and I'm not actually a chocolate kind of girl. Like, I love white chocolate, really like dark chocolate. I'm not as keen on normal chocolate, if I'm honest, so I don't know why I ever went for that flavour, so that was partly my fault. It was stupid. Anyway, I just really didn't like it, and I was so annoyed. I'd spent so much money and it was really expensive as well, so I just like made myself drink it. But I'll never forget buying the vanilla cream from PhD and just thinking, oh my god, like, why did I not buy this one first? And it's really not as expensive. I mean, it definitely wasn't as expensive as that one that I bought, but it's a really inexpensive way of getting in protein. Lasts obviously so much longer, and I mean, to be honest, I do rarely have a shake. I mainly use protein powders to add it into things like oats and yogurt, just to up my protein intake, and just gives things like that an extra bit of flavour. So yeah, PhD is been a brand that I've used for such a long time, and I'm generally buzzing to be working with them, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, without further ado, I'll crack on with this. If you do have any questions about any PhD products that I've mentioned, or any that I haven't online that you're curious to use, then please just pop them below. I'd be more than happy to answer and help as much as I can. So thought it would make sense to start with the whey protein. So this is the 100% whey, and this is the vanilla cream version. Flavour. As I said, this is one of my favourite protein powders, and I do actually like this as a shake. It tastes really nice, but I feel like a vanilla protein you can't go wrong with. Like, if you've never really bought protein powder before, I always just recommend getting something like vanilla, because you can just add it into smoothies, and it just, like, you can't really taste it, or it makes it taste sweeter. It kind of just goes with everything, and add it into yogurt, add it into your oats, and then you can add any kind of toppings, and I just feel like everything goes with vanilla. I am a vanilla girl. So the other 100% whey one that I have is banana flavour, and this has been one of my favourites recently. I do like this with matcha. It's one of my favourites. I love banana flavoured stuff. I absolutely love it. As a kid, like, banana milkshakes were always my favourite, so I absolutely love this. Cookies and cream is another one that I have from the 100% whey. So this is grass-fed whey protein, and another really firm flavour. I really love this mixed with some yogurt, and then crumble up some Oreos on top. Very, very nice. So I also have some of the diet wheys as well. Now, to be honest, I only bought the diet wheys just for the flavour. So this is white chocolate, so it's called White Chocolate Deluxe. I have to say, I've had other white chocolate protein powders from other brands, and I was a bit reluctant to try this because they don't really taste like white chocolate, whereas this really does. I'd really rate this. Again, this is one of my favourites. It's been a one that I've been having when I make my Weetabix cheesecake things for breakfast. They're on my Instagram if you want to have a little look. This is definitely one of my faves, with some chocolate on the top. So nice. And then I also got the raspberry and white chocolate flavour. Again, this is really nice, and this reminds me of another brand that I used to use years ago, and it was one of my favourites for a long time. So the diet weighs slightly less protein. I mean, literally like 2 grams less protein per scoop, but it's lower in fat, sugar and salt. So if you're struggling, not if you're struggling, but if you're in a calorie deficit and you know you're wanting to kind of keep more calories to get more volume, the diet ways are really good for that, as they're just slightly lower in calories. I also have a plant protein. Again, this is really good for a plant protein. I remember I went vegan a couple of years back, and this was something that I really struggled with because most of the protein powder tastes like chalk. Whereas this actually tastes really nice. Don't get us wrong, it's not as nice as the other proteins. However, it is really nice flavour. Like, this is strawberries and cream. They do other flavours as well. This one I find, I mean, I do sometimes find with protein powders they make us bloat, but a lot of things do. So, you know, and this probably helps that slightly. So if it's something you struggle with, maybe try like a plant protein. And as I say, there's other flavours on there. It's lower in fat and salt and sugar. So it can be better, and it's actually 19 grams of protein per serving, which is the same as the 100% whey, which is very good. And this protein powder's from the Smart range. This salted caramel flavour is divine. This is one of my favourite things, having oats. Not that I don't like it as a shake, it's just not as nice in the shake. Whereas with some oats and berries and honey, or even banana and honey, oh my god, honestly, so nice. This is also 19 grams of protein per serving, so it's a very decent amount. And I just absolutely love it. It's really just one of my favourites. The sugar content and stuff's not too bad in it neither. But yeah, highly recommend this one. And to be fair, I love loads of these protein powders. Like, they just taste so nice. And as I say, like something like oats, which I literally eat every day, it having all these different flavours just almost feels like I'm having a different meal each time. Like, it helps to mix it up. And like, as I've mentioned, I put them into like my cheesecakes and stuff like that. It just helps to keep that sort of flavour variety, whereas you can keep cost really low, as these protein powders last for ages. And then you can buy sort of basic cheap foods like oats, yogurt, Weetabix, and make some different meals each time. Then next up is the Clearway, which has been very popular recently. So I've just recently bought the orange margarita, which I actually really like. It's kind of a little bit more sour than other ones that I've tried before, but it's actually like refreshing, because I tend to have my Clearway like during my workouts. This is actually really refreshing to drink during the workout, so definitely recommend this. This is 20 grams of protein per serving. And I also have the strawberry daiquiri flavour. This is 19 grams per serving, so still very good. And this one's a bit more sweet, and they don't really taste like cocktails because it is a bit like, ugh. But they're not. Oh, I mean, it might not be, to be fair, but just because I drink them through my workout, I'm like, do I really want to be drinking a daiquiri while I do legs? But, well, to be fair, it wouldn't be the worst thing. But they actually just taste like more like strawberry, and then the orange margarita's more like orange and lime, which is really nice. But as I say, they're very refreshing because this is like strawberry and lime. So nice, refreshing drinks. And if you find whey protein hard to drink, this one's more like cordial juice, so would be ideal for you. I know a lot of my clients love to have the Clearway. Right, next up, protein bars. So these are from the Smart range. Again, these have been one of my favourite protein bars for as long as I can remember. The white chocolate blondie is just, as I say, I love white chocolate, and these are 21 grams of protein per serving. So obviously the calories are quite high in protein bars. However, they are still very nice to have and good for when you're on the go. Another one of my favourite flavours is the dark chocolate and raspberry. I do have a box of these, but I just lifted one out just to show you. Again, they're 20 grams per serving, which is decent. And then I also recently bought these Smart cake bars, which are really nice. So I got the birthday cake flavour. They're 15 grams per serving, and they're low in sugar. So they're, again, really nice and just something different. Just so I've got a few different bars, and these are things that if I know I'm going to be out and about through the day, or I'm really busy and I just need something to grab, or if I haven't had time to prep, things like that, I'll just shove these in my bag so that I've got them, and I'm not just going to like get too hungry and like buy whatever. And it's okay to buy things on the go, but just making sure that you're hitting your protein target is really important. So yes, these are very handy just to have to grab. Right, so next up I'm going to go through the sort of vitamins and supplements that I've got. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll know that I love my greens powder shakes, and I absolutely love this. This is Super Greens, and it's mango flavour. So this is ideal if you struggle to get fruit and veg in, and this is something that I have every day regardless, but especially maybe on a weekend if I'm out and about or having a takeaway or eating out, things like that. And this is really good to make sure that I get lots of goodness into us. So this greens powder, as I said, it's mango flavour. I absolutely love mango. And sometimes I'll add some like frozen mango in and make it into a smoothie. I tend to mix this with like a bit of water, a bit of coconut milk. Sometimes add a sweetener in. I put some matcha green tea powder in as well. And some collagen powder. Which is really good for your skin, and also this is really good for your skin and your immune system. So as I say, it's really good if you struggle to get your sort of fruit and veggie portions in. This has got 19 greens and fruits in, so a really good one just to have daily. And if you struggle with the flavoured stuff, as I say, this is with the greens powder, because of the flavour, is what I meant to say there. This is really good because it's flavoured, and then if you still find that you're really struggling with it, getting like calorie-free sweeteners to add in as well, or a little bit of milk, can really, really help. Or you could even add it into like a protein shake or smoothie. And as I say, adding in like frozen fruit can be really helpful for this as well. It's also really low in calories, and I don't tend to really track this, to be honest. It says it's 35 calories per 10 gram serving, but I just don't really tend to track these kind of greens anyway. That's just my personal preference, but it's very low in calories and a good way to get some extra goodness into you. So another thing, if you've watched any of my full day of eating videos, or seen any of my full day of eating posts on Instagram. God, I can't talk today. I don't feel like I can ever talk, to be honest. Anyways, if you've seen any of the previous videos, or if you've seen any of my posts on Instagram, you'll see that I have electrolytes every morning. So I haven't actually tried this pink grapefruit flavour yet. So that was all I had in stock, but I do normally get the strawberry and lime, if that'll focus. There we go. Strawberry and lime. So I have one of these every morning, as when we sleep we obviously get dehydrated because we've had no water intake. So it is important first thing on a morning to get up and rehydrate. So a glass of water will do it, but I do just like to have the rehydration tablets. So they just dissolve into your water, a bit like a Barocca. Also would be really good to have during your workout, keep you hydrated when you're losing a lot of water. But the two, I haven't tried the pink grapefruit flavour yet because I just got that this month. But the strawberry and lime flavour is so nice. Again, as I say, it's like really refreshing. It's got that sweet / bitter flavour, which I really like. So next up I have creatine tablets. You can also get this in a powder. So the tablet dosage, that's not the right serving. Basically take 2 tablets, whereas if you have the powder, you normally take around 5 grams per day. You can take it any time of day as long as you take it like every day. I would say even on rest days it's fine to take. There's a lot of studies talking about creatine cycling, but I've found that just from research and personal experience that just having around 5 grams a day is sufficient enough. And I also have some EAAs, which are for supporting protein metabolism. So basically that EAAs stands for essential amino acids. So your body can produce non-essential amino acids on its own, whereas it can't produce essential amino acids. So you can get them from your food, but also a supplement is very useful if you struggle with that. That's something that I recommend to like vegetarian and vegan clients, as they often, from my experience, I've found really struggle with their protein intake. That's due to a lot of sort of complete proteins, being meat sources like chicken, beef, and all that sort of stuff. So very handy for, as I say, veggies and vegans, but that doesn't mean to say that it's exclusive to them, because it can still be helpful. Like there's a lot of people that just struggle to reach their protein goal. It doesn't necessarily help you reach your protein goal, but it just does help with your recovery. So it's good to take before and after you work out, as it also helps to reduce tiredness and fatigue. Another one that I have every day is a daily multivitamin. Now I'm going to go through all the sort of supplements that I've got, and it important to note that you don't have to have any of these things. Same with the creatine and the EAAs, you don't have to have them. Like, you don't have to have the hydration tablets or anything, and that's why I'm talking through like what I use them for, what they're beneficial for, if they're things that you struggle with. But one thing that I do always say to my clients is I would always just recommend a multivitamin, because then you're hitting all bases to make sure you're getting the sort of key nutrients that you need, because your micronutrients are just as important as your macros. I also regularly take vitamin D3, so this helps to enhance your performance, but it's also very good through the winter months when we don't get as many hours of sunlight, as it can help with your mood. So it's one that I'll probably stop taking now we're getting into the sort of longer days, like brighter mornings, brighter nights, so I can get more vitamin D from the sunshine outside, hopefully. But yeah, it's one that I always take religiously through the winter, and I don't take as much through the summer months. And that's not to say that that's something you have to do, that's just what I choose to do because I can get more from outside. But it's very good for your bone health and for your immune system too. So I take all my vitamins on a morning normally with my breakfast, but I also have ZMAs before bed. These are really good to help with recovery and just to help with fatigue, and can help you sleep better, to get better rest, which is very important for recovery for your muscles and your mind. As you probably well know, if you've had a bad night's sleep, you just feel physically and mentally tired. So this is definitely a very good one to have, and it also supports healthy testosterone levels. I normally just take these, as I say, before bed. I'll have them with my final meal of the day, or I'll have them just before I go to bed with a drink of water. I also have these reset nighttime capsules from the Life range. So these are very similar to the ZMAs, they just have a few other ingredients, including 5-HTP and, I can never pronounce this word, tryptophan. You have to read it. Yeah, so it's got those 2 extra ingredients in. Again, just aids recovery, helps you to get a good sleep. So I don't take these together, I'll take one or the other. I just happen to have both. I just recently ordered the ZMAs, whereas I've had these for a little while. So definitely would recommend these, and take these around half an hour before you go to bed. It's a good one to include in a nighttime routine. I've done a video on this before, and I've done posts about this on Instagram, but having a good nighttime wind down routine really helps. So like, just taking this isn't going to make you go to sleep, but as part of a good wind down routine will help you to get a more restful sleep, because it is very much about the quality of your sleep, not just about the quantity of sleep. So if you've got a good wind down routine, sorry, put my teeth back in. If you've got a good wind down routine, your body will you know, start to recognize that this is, you know, it's time to go to sleep soon, and it'll wind down, and then that helps you to get a deeper, more restful sleep. I also have these ones from the Life range called Move. So again, these are pretty similar to the D3 vitamin D3 tablets, because they are good for joint and bone support. So very good for after exercising to keep your joints supple. Obviously they have more ingredients in than just the vitamin D3, so it can be better to take something like this rather than a few different vitamins. But as I say, just really good in helping with recovery and making sure that you're staying nice and supple, as it also contains, why can't I talk today? Contains collagen, which is really good for your hair, skin and nails. So I also have these Mind ones from the Life range. So again, another word I can't pronounce. I need to read it to make sure I pronounce it right. I'm probably still not pronouncing it right. So nootropic support. So basically aids mental performance, really good for mindset. Again, you know, it's important to note that taking these isn't just going to make you feel instantly amazing. You know, you've got to be fully looking after yourself and nourishing your body alongside this. Like, that's the whole point of supplements. I think people think, you know, you just got to take them, and you've absolutely got to have them, and you don't have to have any of these things. They can just help to aid and supplement what you're already doing, but they're not just some kind of like magic capsule that's going to just really help you, but they can be very beneficial when used correctly, which is why I wanted to cover the topics of each one of them in this video. So basically it helps to aid your optimal mental performance and helps to reduce fatigue. So as I say, it helps to aid your optimal mental performance, but your optimal depends on how else that you're looking after your mental health, how else you're looking after your body. So as I say, it just helps to support that. So just taking these isn't going to make a really big difference unless you're doing other things alongside it to help. And I also have these relax ones, which are the same in helping with I can't say it, nootropic support. I think my accent doesn't help. Nootropic support, which helps with relaxation, hence called the name of them. So it helps with mental well-being, contains something called ashwagandha along with some other ingredients, which I've read a lot about recently, and one that I like to take regularly now. Again, as I said, if you need to be looking after your mental health in lots of other ways, so through exercise and through nourishing your body with good foods, even things like meditation, and managing stress in other ways. Like taking one of these isn't going to make your stress go away, because it is to help with stress, but as I say, taking this sadly doesn't make all of life's stresses go away, though I wish it did. So as I said, things like meditation, that's something that I really find really helps me. And some days I do meditation and think that was a bit of a waste of time, but it's never a waste of time. Just, I know sometimes I can't like switch off and I find it very difficult, but I still do it every day. And some days I think, oh, that was really good meditation. And some days I'm like, oh God, like I couldn't get my brain to switch off. But it's not about like diminishing thoughts completely and making your brain completely switch off. It's just about bringing yourself back to the present and noticing when you've been distracted. So definitely recommend that if you find that you stress quite a lot, you want to manage stress more. I think meditation is generally good for your mental well-being, but I went off on a bit of a tangent here. I just felt like I fit in with these last two sort of supplements. You know, as I've said there a few times, you can't just take something like this and expect it to just like work, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I took that and it didn't work for me. But you've got to be making sure that you're doing other things to support it, because supplements, you know, the clue's in the title, they're there to supplement what you're already doing. So, you know, like you can't be doing all these like opposing things and then thinking that this is going to balance it out, because that's sadly not how it works. And then finally, I have these digest. So I have the gummies and then I have just the tablets. So I have both of these ones. The gummies are just quite nice to have. So these are really good for your tummy and your gut health. Your gut health is so important. I've done lots of posts about this on Instagram. There's been lots of studies that show your gut health links directly to your mental health. So going back to just what I've said there before about the supplements that help support your mental well-being, that's why I'm saying nourish your body with good foods, because there's literally studies that prove there is a link between the two. So if you're putting lots of saturated fatty foods in your body all of the time, it's going to have a direct link on your mental health, going to make you feel more groggy, and you know, it's just not very good. And I'm not saying that not to have like any sort of what are perceived as bad foods. That's not what I'm saying at all, because I very much promote a healthy, balanced lifestyle. But having these types of foods all the time will make you feel just generally rubbish and run down, and then that starts to have an impact on your mental health. Having things like these supplements can help, but it's also important to have whole foods basically, like nourishing foods like fruit, vegetables, a good mixture of food, making sure you're hitting your protein goal, that's obviously suited to you, and getting enough carbs and fats. Fats are a really important one, especially for women, because they help with hormone production. So a lot of people think, oh, just go low fat, lose weight. Whereas that's not the case. We do really need fats to help with our hormone health. And I know in the past for me, when I've had really low fat intake and really low calories, my periods have been irregular or just not there at all, which is really not good, not healthy for us as females, because if your hormones are imbalanced, it's going to cause you a multitude of problems, not just irregular periods, which aren't good, but just in the way you feel. Like you'll find your PMS is all over, all these different like feelings that you get at different points of your cycle, it'll be all like out of sync basically, and you'll end up feeling worse. Whereas eating you know, lots of fats and getting lots of goodness into your body can help help you to have more balanced hormones. And I'm going to do a more in-depth video about this and why it's so important, but just wanted to mention that like it's really important to hit your macros, which is your protein, your carbs and your fats, and then it's also really important to get your micros in as well, so your micronutrients, and that's where supplements can come in and help. And obviously same with your macronutrients to get your protein in. They're all very important and all play their part. So you know, just like anything, too much of something is bad. You need to have a good balance across the board. So I hope this video's helped. Sorry, I felt like I had to put my teeth back in about 5 or 6 times. I just feel like sometimes when I've got so much in my brain that I want to make sure I get out, I just like start to like, words don't come out right and I get all flustered, so I do apologise. I'm still getting used to getting better at talking for long periods of time on this and making sure that I give the correct information. I put too much pressure on myself, but I want to make sure that you know, my videos are informative and that they help you and you get as much information out of them as possible. But if there's anything that you want to know about anything I've talked about today, or a video that I could do in more depth in future, then please let us know. I know I mentioned there before I'm going to do one a bit about female health and hormones and stuff like that, because I'm very, very passionate about that. I'm going to do that very, very soon. But yeah, anything else that you would like to see, please let me know. Hopefully you found this helpful anyway. As I said, the link to shop for PhD is below with my discount code added at the checkout, EmmaG10, and there's also a link for my online coaching. If you would like more help with finding your balance, then please get in touch and let me know your goals and someone from my team will get in touch. But thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe, it would really help and support us, and I will see you on the next one.